What's up, NFL fans? It's NFL Nate back again. Today, we're going to be doing our 2021 Mock Draft 7.0. It's the craziest mock draft you probably have seen. 4 trades outside the draft, teams trading up and trading down, getting more draft picks, and getting those players that they need. So it's going to be absolutely ridiculous. So stay tuned until the end to see what every team picks. Before we jump into it, if you enjoyed my content, subscribe. If you don't, you don't have to. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed, and let's jump right into this. At number 1, we have Trevor Lawrence to the Jags. I think this is pretty self-explanatory. He's one of the best quarterback prospects that we've seen in a lot of years. So I think he's going to the Jacksonville Jaguars, no doubt in my mind. Then we have the New York Jets selecting Zach Wilson. This one, I don't think it's going to be anything different. I know people are doing some crazy trades with the Panthers or other teams trading up to get Zach Wilson. I just don't think it's going to happen, especially because they're just going to start a new era. Robert Saleh, new coach, new quarterback. Just seems like they want to start fresh, and Zach Wilson is too good to pass up. He has a way, way higher ceiling than Sam Darnold, so it's a really bad excuse to pass up on a talent like Zach Wilson to keep Sam Darnold. So I think they get Zach Wilson. Then at number 3, the craziness begins. I have the Denver Broncos trading up to get Trey Lance. In this draft, we're not going to go about all the trade details because there's tons of trades, but we're saying they're trading up for Trey Lance. It'll probably cost a first rounder next year or a lot of draft picks this year. But they trade up, they get Trey Lance, and I think this can really help. The Broncos are kind of in a rebuild stage, like a mini rebuild, so I think Trey Lance, he has higher upside than Justin Fields in my opinion, but Justin Fields is more NFL ready and can start now. So I do think they take Trey Lance with more upside and they sit him behind Drew Lock or another quarterback for a little bit until he learns and then he starts. And that offense is full of weapons, so I think Trey Lance can do tons of harm and compete in the AFC West. Then, at number 4, the craziness doesn't stop. We have the San Francisco 49ers trading up with the Atlanta Falcons. I don't think the Falcons want to pick here, and they're just going to trade down with the 49ers. Probably get a first-round pick for the future, as I don't know if they're going to try to compete next year. But I do think that 49ers really, really want to get up here and pick Justin Fields. It's going to be so good for them. He's ready right now, and there's lots of weapons on that offense. So I think he could start week 1. That's how good he is. All 4 of these quarterbacks could be number 1 overall picks in different draft classes. That's why I know it's crazy to think 4 quarterbacks right off the board, but teams really want those quarterbacks. You've seen what Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson have done. Just absolutely ridiculous. So I think that 49ers trade up to get Justin Fields, and the Atlanta Falcons get some extra draft picks trading down. Then number 5, I have the Cincinnati Bengals picking up Penei Sewell. Just a super good offensive tackle out of Oregon. It's really surprising the Bengals haven't even gotten a single offensive lineman in the draft. In free agency. Since Joe Burrow got injured, after the first few days of free agency, they haven't gotten a single offensive lineman. So I am just scared for Joe Burrow, but I think if they pick up Penei Sewell, the Bengals fans have to be happy because you have one person protecting Joe Burrow. Then at number 6, I have the Philadelphia Eagles selecting Ja'Marr Chase. Eagles fans don't really want a quarterback, and I kind of agree with them. I don't think that the Eagles should draft a quarterback. That Philadelphia Eagles offense is not good, regardless of what quarterback there is. So getting a quarterback and trading up for one just to throw it in a dumpster fire like the Eagles offense right now is, I don't think that's worth it. I think helping Jalen Hurts would help you more than trying to upgrade the quarterback position. That I think Jalen Hurts has some potential, so I think they draft Ja'Marr Chase, and that really helps Jalen Hurts progress. Then at number 7, I have the Detroit Lions selecting Jaylen Waddle, wide receiver. I think this will very much help the Detroit Lions and Jared Goff. They got Tyrell Williams, Jamal Williams. Adding Jaylen Waddle, another weapon, will really help this offense, and it can look pretty good. It'll look pretty good with Jaylen Waddle in there, so the Detroit Lions offense will be looking pretty good. Then at number 8, I have the Houston Texans trading away Deshaun Watson to get this number 8 overall pick and many, many other picks. The Panthers are going to have to give them like 4 other first-round picks or something crazy like that. We saw what the trade was for Russell Wilson. The trade offer, they traded like 3 first-round picks, 2 starters, and a third-rounder. The Bears did for Russell Wilson, but the Seahawks declined. So I think there's going to probably be a trade something like that with the Carolina Panthers, but they're probably going to have to hand over this 8th overall pick. For the Panthers, it's worth it for Deshaun Watson. But to the Houston Texans, they lost DeAndre Hopkins. They lost Will Fuller. I think DeVonta Smith, the Heisman winner, the 3rd wide receiver off the board, I think it'll be worth it for them. They can start getting that number 1 wide receiver in DeVonta Smith that can instantly help that offense be much better for the Texans. Then moving on to pick number 9, we have the Miami Dolphins. They traded down and they pick up Rashawn Slater. All the wide receivers are gone, which is a bummer for them, but I do think Rashawn Slater is very, very good talent. Just can go all over that offensive line and really, really help that offense altogether. So I like Rashawn Slater to the Miami Dolphins. Next, at number 10, we have the LA Chargers trading up to get Kyle Pitts. Hunter Henry left. As a Chargers fan, I'm a little disappointed, but they did sign Jared Cook from the Saints, only to a 1-year deal, so I think trading up for Kyle Pitts is a perfect way for the Chargers to get that tight end position really, really good. And they have Jared Cook for only 1 year, so Kyle Pitts can kind of learn from him. He's a veteran, and then Kyle Pitts can fully take over in year 2. I think this would be really good for the Chargers. They'd probably have to give up maybe a 4th rounder, 3rd rounder, something like that to trade up with the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys would trade down here mainly because 2 offensive linemen off the board, and they really want to help that O-line. Even though both cornerbacks are here, I think they trade down and just pick up an extra 3rd rounder. Then at number 11, I have the New York Giants selecting Micah Parsons. They probably want to help this offense in Daniel Jones, but Micah Parsons here is too tempting, and they just pick him up. It'll help their defense so much. The defense is already very good with Leonard Williams and that secondary. So if they pick up Micah Parsons on top of that, their defense can be fully stacked and loaded, and I think this New York Giants defense can make it from good to elite level in 2021. Then with the 12th overall pick, the Atlanta Falcons traded down with the San Francisco 49ers. They pick up Caleb Farley. They got A.J. Terrell last year. I think they continue to make slowly build that secondary. They pick up Caleb Farley, a really versatile cornerback that can play all over the field. So I think that will be a really good pickup for the Falcons. They pick up extra draft picks, and they slowly make that secondary much better. So that's really good for the Falcons. Then at number 13, I have the Dallas Cowboys picking Patrick Surtain. He's a ready cornerback now. They could go Christian Darrisaw, and I was debating about it because they traded down. They could have gotten Darrisaw, but Patrick Surtain's just too good here. I really like him for the Dallas Cowboys. That secondary, they got torched so much last year and with deep passes. I think Trayvon Diggs and Patrick Surtain can make a really good cornerback duo for the Cowboys. Then at number 14, I have another trade. I told you guys this was going to be the craziest mock draft. I have the Washington football team trading from 19 to 14 with the Minnesota Vikings, picking Mac Jones. I think this is going to be really, really good for the Washington football team. They have Taylor Heineke, they have Ryan Fitzpatrick, but I don't think that stops them from getting that quarterback that they want for their franchise. They have a really good defense, but I think getting this jump up, getting Mac Jones, who I feel like in other drafts could be like a top 10 draft pick, falls to 14, they take advantage, they jump up 5 spots, they grab Mac Jones. I think it's really, really good for the Washington football team, and they get their quarterback that can eventually become their starter and their franchise quarterback. Then at number 15, the New England Patriots select Elijah Vera-Tucker, offensive lineman. Elijah Vera-Tucker is very underrated. I think he can easily go in the top 15. And so the Patriots pick him up, just help that offensive line. The Patriots have been going absolutely crazy in free agency, so I don't think they need any more weapons on that offense, but they do want to protect Cam Newton. Elijah Vera-Tucker, the perfect player to replace Joe Thuney. Obviously, he's not that good yet, but I think he has the potential to become that. And at number 16, we have the Arizona Cardinals selecting Travis Etienne. A little bit of a surprise for some people, but I do think it will help the Cardinals tremendously. It looks like they're in win now mode when they got what's his name? JJ Watt. They got JJ Watt. They got A.J. Green. I think getting Travis Etienne will even boost their offense to the next level. I think it just will totally prove that they're going all out because they could get someone like J.C. Horn, but cornerbacks in the draft, they take a few years to develop, at least 1 year, so I don't think you'd make instant impact. Travis Etienne would make an instant impact, and especially that they lost Kenyon Drake, I think this is a great pickup for the Cardinals offense. Travis Etienne would fit in instantly. Then, we're moving on. Pick 17, I have the Las Vegas Raiders selecting Kwity Paye. First edge rusher off the board, but I think even though they got, They got edge rusher in free agency. I'm trying to remember his name. He's from the Minnesota Vikings. Yannick Ngakoue, yep. Takes me some time to remember those names, but I think they draft Kwity Paye as well. A dynamic duo, and Max Crosby as well, so they have 3 really, really good pass rushers, and the Las Vegas Raiders pass rush is starting to look pretty scary, because as you saw in the Super Bowl, pass rush is really, really needed now. So I think the Raiders, they pick up Kwity Paye. Then at number 18, the Dolphins select Rashad Bateman. I think this will really help them. They got Rashawn Slater, and I think Rashad Bateman can be that number 1. They got Will Fuller. Now they get Rashad Bateman. The offense is starting to come together, and I'm really liking that Dolphins' chances of making a playoff push next year. Then at number 19, the Minnesota Vikings, as you know, they traded down, and I think they personally get a steal at number 19, Christian Darrisaw. Offensive tackle, I think this is pretty surprising that he fell this far, but I really like this pick for the Minnesota Vikings. They pick up extra draft picks by trading down, and they still get Christian Darrisaw. Really good moves by the Vikings. And at number 20, the Chicago Bears select Samuel Cosmi, offensive tackle. He's a big 6'7" offensive tackle. He'll probably start at right tackle, and he can help that run game for the Chicago Bears. I think this will be a perfect pick for the Chicago Bears to build that offense around Andy Dalton. Then at number 21, we have the Indianapolis Colts selecting J.C. Horn. The Colts, they don't have many needs, but I think cornerback is one of them. I think J.C. Horn is a really good player. He might not make an instant impact, but he's a really good player all around, so that really helps the Colts. At number 22, the Tennessee Titans select Jaylen Phillips. Jaylen Phillips is super underrated, and I think he could even be the best pass rusher in this class. He's long, lengthy, and can really get after the quarterback. So I think the Titans, they pair that with Bud Dupree, just like the Raiders did. They got one guy in free agency, one guy in the draft. I think doubling down on pass rush will definitely help both of the Raiders and the Titans. So they pick Jaylen Phillips. At number 23, we have the New York Jets selecting Greg Newsome, the second cornerback. Greg Newsome is really underrated out of Northwestern. He ran a really, really fast 40-yard dash, which I think will boost his stock. And in Robert Saleh's scheme, they have to get some good players, and I think Greg Newsome will be a really good cornerback to build around for Robert Saleh. And at number 24, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers selecting Tevin Jenkins, offensive tackle. I think this will really help the Pittsburgh Steelers. They could go Najee Harris, but honestly, I think an offensive tackle like Tevin Jenkins will help their run game more than a running back like Najee Harris does. Not saying Najee Harris is bad, I just think offensive line will be the main priority for the Steelers. Now moving on to the last 8 picks, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars selecting Gregory Rousseau, edge rusher. Another edge rusher, I think the Jacksonville Jaguars, they get another guy. They want to get that defense up to the level they had when they made an AFC Championship game. And it can just really help that defense all around. At number 26, Cleveland Browns select Jayson Oweh. Jayson Oweh has super, super high upside, and if he's coached up, I think that would be really good for him. I think Myles Garrett can help him. Myles Garrett was kind of like Jayson Oweh, except more, he had all the tactics down. He had all the skills. Jayson Oweh has all the physical attributes, and Myles Garrett is more a refined pass rusher and knows what he's doing. If Myles Garrett can help teach Jayson Oweh, I think he's one of the best pass rushers, and I think the Cleveland Browns can have a nasty pass rushing duo in Myles Garrett and Jayson Oweh. At number 27, the Baltimore Ravens take the third pass rusher in a row, Azeez Al-Jawari. Sorry about that mispronunciation, but I think edge rusher is so important nowadays. It's like almost as important as the quarterback position. Now with quarterbacks being mobile, you have to get to them as soon as you can. Keep that pressure on so they don't have time to throw. And I think Azeez will be a perfect fit for the Baltimore Ravens. At number 28, the New Orleans Saints get Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. I think this is actually a steal. I think he should probably go higher in the draft, but the Saints pick him up at number 28. Just a linebacker, probably best player available because the Saints, they don't have much draft picks, they don't have much cap space, so they just take best player available in Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. At number 29, we have the Green Bay Packers selecting Creed Humphrey. Now, people might disagree with me and have Creed Humphrey a little lower, but I really, really like him out of Oklahoma. He can replace the center that the Green Bay Packers lost. They lost it to the Chargers. What's his name? I always forget. Corey Linsley. Yep. They lost Corey Linsley. Creed Humphrey can be that replacement. I think protecting Aaron Rodgers should be the number one priority here. At number 30, I have the Buffalo Bills selecting Javonte Williams. I had this in my last mock draft, and I really, really liked the fit of Javonte Williams to the Buffalo Bills. He's a hard hitter, and he can help in the passing game. I think this is just a perfect fit for the Bills. They don't have many needs, but Javonte Williams can take that offense a little bit even higher. It's already so good, but another weapon for Josh Allen just seems unfair at this point. So I think the Bills take Javonte Williams. And at number 31, the Kansas City Chiefs select Kadarius Toney. If Kadarius Toney falls to the Kansas City Chiefs, I think it's just too hard for Andy Reid to resist. Even though they need O-line, Kadarius Toney is just so fast and so shifty. Just seems like a Kansas City Chiefs receiver. They pick him up, and I bet Patrick Mahomes will have so much fun with him. And at number 32, the Tampa Bay Bucks select Christian Barmore, defensive lineman. I like this for the Tampa Bay Bucks. They're just shoring up that defensive line. They already trying to keep their whole roster back, so they got everybody back. I think Christian Barmore will be an instant playmaker and really help them so the Tampa Bay Bucks can make another Super Bowl run. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. All the support means a lot. If you enjoy my content, subscribe. I come out with new NFL videos 2 times a week, so subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss anything. In my next video, I'm going to be reviewing all of free agency that happened throughout this week, so that's one that you do not want to miss, so stay tuned for that, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. See ya!